Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Exploring Hogwarts Legacy. Today we are going to be checking out Hogsmeade Village. Now this of course is the village that third years and above are able to visit from Hogwarts. It's the closest town, the closest village to Hogwarts, more specifically in this game because there are multiple villages and hamlets and towns surrounding the Hogwarts area. But we're going to walk there to begin. Those are the bell towers at Hogwarts. We are going out the north exit here, past the Quidditch pitch on our left, and we are going to saunter our way over the bridge and out of the Hogwarts grounds. Now, it is a bit of a trek, so bear with me while I discuss Hogsmeade. The design for Hogsmeade in this game is, I think, more specifically based around the theme park version of Hogsmeade. Which is slightly different from how we see it in the films. It's a little inconsistent with how we see it in the films. Of course, we do see it for the first time in The Prisoner of Azkaban. Not super in-depth, and the layout is never really concrete, but we do see it as the films go on. We see it very specifically in the 8th film. We also see it in the 6th book, but we don't really see it in the 6th film as much. What with Dumbledore and Harry's mission. That is going to be the main entrance to the Forbidden Forest, which is slightly different from how it's written in the books, definitely different from how we see it in the films, but we keep going down this main road here. We do have the option to fly there as well. The one thing I don't like in this game is that you don't have permission to fly directly into Hogsmeade. There is kind of a bubble that surrounds the village, and you're not able to fly your broom into the town. We're going to continue on. Take a look back. There is a view of Hogwarts Castle there. So in keeping with its description, or more specifically, its view from the films, past this Hufflepuff right there. There we have access to the lake, but we're going to stick to the left and go up these kind of winding pathways here. Now the greater Hogsmeade region is very spread out, but the village itself is pretty compact, at least the main part of town. And we're going to continue following these people up this pathway. All of these icons that are popping up here are crystals that we can break apart for various missions or various potions. Another path leads down that direction, which goes to the lake and the station, as well as the surrounding towns of Arrynshire, Brockborough, and Keenbridge. But Hogsmeade Village, or historic Hogsmeade more specifically, is going to be to our hard left here. You're going to cross a bridge and then come under kind of this covered archway. And now, of course, we are into Hogsmeade Village. It does feel very similar. More specifically, this entrance area feels very similar to the theme park version, or specifically the Orlando version of it. We'll pet this cat just for the sake of petting cats. And there are a ton of different houses and shops on either side here. We'll just take a brief glimpse into this house here. Just a tiny little living area for all these witches and wizards. But we're going to stick specifically to the shops. Now, on your left here is going to be tomes and scrolls. Now, this you have access to a variety of things like books. This is Thomas Brown, the creator, or sorry, rather the owner of the shop. With shops in Hogsmeade, you have the option to sell some of your items to get money. So most of these are going to be worth $90. Some of them are worth $60. Some of them are worth more than that. But you have the option to kind of expand what you're able to do in the Room of Requirement, what you're able to do interacting with other creatures and other people, just by buying things in this store here. A look around, it's going to be all books and that sort of thing. One cool thing here, though, is interacting with this box here, or this book, excuse me, pops out this little staircase. And now we can go up this staircase. The design of this place is kind of based on Flourish and Blots in Diagon Alley, but not super specifically. But anyways, you get up top here and there's just more options and more books to look around. There is a hidden chest up here, as well as I think there's a Demiguise moon hidden up here, which is one of the quests in order to get Alohomora. It'd be cool if they added later on access to Diagon Alley in London, but as far as I know, that does not exist in the game at the present. Going back outside then, across the way is going to be Curdibin's Cauldrons. And this is just going to be a potions type shop, buying your cauldrons. I actually don't even know if you can interact with the shopkeep here. It's just a shop for shop's sake. Nothing really to this one here. More houses on either side. This one is actually locked right now. Or nope, you don't even have access to that one. This right here is a cellar, which you do have access to in one of the missions. We're going to, I think the best way to do this is to stick to our right, because the town kind of circles around itself a few times and does get a little confusing, but we're going to stick to the right here. Over here is just kind of a broomstick example or testing area, which tells me that this here is the broomstick shop, which is called... Oh, it popped up for a second there. This is called Spintwitch's Sporting Needs, owned and operated by this gentleman called Albie Weeks, which you do quite a few quests alongside, but this is mostly just Quidditch stuff. He is a big Tutchell Tornadoes fan, apparently. Lithuanian champions there. Looking around, and there, of course, is kind of a ball set there. Back outside across the way is going to be a kind of outlier shop of Ollivanders. So, of course, the man Ollivanders is located in Diagon Alley. This is kind of an expansion franchise that they have here. You don't really get to interact with him after you get your wand, but you do get your wand early on in the game. Very similar to the one in Diagon Alley that we see in the films, just a little smaller. It doesn't kind of have this expansion wing over in that direction, so it is fairly small. Back out in this direction, we'll stick to our right, like I said, but straight ahead of us is going to be the 3 broomsticks. So let's pop in there real quick. The 3 broomsticks is, in this game, operated by this character called Serona Ryan. They added Serona Ryan as the only transgender character in the game. That never comes up. A lot of people criticize the decision to add a transgender character for the sake of just adding brownie points in opposition to J.K. Rowling's statements. So it doesn't ever really come up. You do interact with that character on a number of occasions just to get you on your way with your quests. But this lower area is just kind of a meeting space and a bar area. It's a little different to the layout we see in the films. Going up here, circling around. I don't know if there are any bedroom areas in the 3 broomsticks in the game, just chest areas there. You go to the top. In the back, what is back here? This is just a side exit. And then continuing up the steps. I really got to remember hard. It's been a long time since I've been in here. If there is an actual bedroom at the top. And nope, this is just the meeting area. So if you'll recall the 3rd film and the book, this is just Prisoner of Azkaban in general. This is where Harry learns about Sirius Black being his godfather. He sneaks into the private room to follow the Minister of Magic and discovers them talking about Sirius Black and Sirius's connection to Harry. So we do see that in the films. All the way back down, let's go back outside then and explore more of Hogsmeade Village. So we came from that direction. We're going to circle in this direction then. Down to the right, this is just a Floo Flame entrance. You can... Spire Alley is what they're calling it, I guess. There is a house elf called Penny, which you can interact with as part of a future mission that I have not done yet. Nothing in that direction. This is called Bingle and Blatch. What do they sell here? This looks like books, but nobody to interact with specifically. So you can't really do anything in here. There's that Medusa painting that also exists in Hogwarts. I don't know if you can interact with this version of it, but the one in Hogwarts, if you're familiar with our episode where we explored kind of some of that painting storage, it does freeze you to stone until you unfreeze yourself. There's the 3 broomsticks on our left. We're going to continue to the right. Look for more shops. Otherwise, these are all houses. I do like that they've added kind of this more expansive housing area here. I haven't unlocked that yet. That is going to be just kind of the outskirts of town, kind of implied to be where like Harry throws snowballs at Draco in the 3rd film. This is a shop called Flutes and Lutes. It's a music shop. So you see gramophones and amplifiers and the like. A cello there, piano there. Just all kinds of musical instruments. But like I've said with other shops, you can't interact with the owner or operator. So it just kind of adds set decoration to the town. Moving our way up in this direction toward the back of the village. I believe this is just, this is Steeply and Sons, and we don't have access to the back entrance. So let's circle around and see if we can get in by the front entrance. This is Steeply and Sons. This is just kind of a cafe area. There's a bag of gold back there that I'm going to steal, of course. Unidentified back item. Okay, very nice. But yeah, this is just kind of a cafe here. Across the way, this is just kind of the post office. You can't really interact with it, but more nice set decoration there. Honeyduke's is going to be to the right of, or rather the left of the cafe. One of the larger stores in Hogsmeade, just as it appears in the films, just as it appears in both the Hollywood and Orlando version of the shop, or of Hogsmeade specifically. All sorts of candy options that you can interact with. This back area here, if you go through here, is the cellar. Now, we don't have access to it on this side, but if you were to... Oh, I lied. It does open for us. Down here, if you follow toward... Where is it? I gotta find it. Oh, right here. Underneath these is the One-Eyed Witch Passage. So this will lead you back to Hogwarts. It is a bit of a trek. It doesn't kind of teleport you there. You do have to actually walk the distance to Hogwarts, and it's kind of more exciting than... It sounds more exciting than it actually is, I'm trying to say. So we won't go down there, but it does lead back to Hogwarts and the Faculty Tower area. Back out the main entrance of Honeyduke's then. And we are going to tuck to the right. Over here is just a musical performance. You can tip the musician. This is just a private home that we have broken into. It's a good thing they're not American. They'd probably shoot us. Various... Oh, I'm in the lake. My bad. Various houses and just private areas in that direction. Let's circle up here. There's a couple more shops. That's a house. This is Brood and Peck. What can we do here? This is animals, I believe. I've never been in here before. So I'm going to skip through this. and skip through this. Continue to skip through this. And skip on by. But basically you can buy animal furs and feathers and that sort of thing. Interact with these animals here. And we will then go back into town. Back into Hogsmeade Square. This is kind of the center of town here. It's got this big tree, a whole bunch of businesses operating around the circle here. There's a bridge right there that we didn't pass through on our entrance, but we should be able to pass through on our way back. This is Scrivenshaft's, the quill shop. You can buy, actually you can't buy anything, but they do have pet cats in here. So you can of course pet those. We've already pet a cat. I don't feel bad about ignoring them for now. And in this direction, this is going to lead to the outskirts of town, which we will explore at the end of this video. These are both houses here. This is Dervish and Bangles. What do they do here? This is a clothing shop, so you can explore all of these items. We've, of course, already sold some of our items. I'm just kind of dressed plain. I'm not a big, like, outfit guy when it comes to video games, so I have kept my guy pretty plain in his look. Did we miss anything over here? Nope, that's the post office. So back down underneath this bridge and through the square, what else have we missed? I don't think anything behind us. There's a well in that direction. This is going to lead up to, I can't remember, is this a shop or a house? This is the barber shop. Tress Emporium. So basically you can redesign your look in here. Circle around the backside just to see if we missed anything. Nope, that's a house. Okay. What is this? Did we already pass this? Yes. Okay. It does, like I said, it does get a little confusing because it circles back on itself quite a bit. It's a big kind of loopy area. It's not one continuous walkway or loop. It is set up like a town. I do really like that they've designed it like that, but it does get a little confusing for me specifically when it comes to trying to find my way around. This is Zonko's, of course, the joke shop, where Fred and George get their inspiration, and I think they later buy it out, actually. Don't push. Okay. Awesome. Whole bunch of interactive areas here. Is that a Niffler? Oh, it's just a statue. Okay. But this is Zonko's joke shop. We see it really for the first time. Actually, no, I don't know that we ever see it in the films. I'm thinking of Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, but it's kind of set up similarly. Go out here. That is the entrance to the Three Broomsticks. So this is to the left of the Three Broomsticks. Continuing in this direction, these are going to be houses. There is another cellar, that lolly cellar that we have access to in one of the missions. Continuing down this back alley here, that is just a house. That's just a house. That's a house. This is a potions shop, so you have access to potion recipes. Pippin's potions. This is probably the place that you interact with most. At least my character has interacted most with Pippin's potions. Down that way we will explore at the end of this video. And then back down into the Hogshead Alley. This is kind of the last area of town. We'll go in this direction. More houses on either side. The only real business area down here is going to be the Hogshead. This, of course, is the pub that, by Harry's time, Aberforth Dumbledore owns. It's kind of the lesser of the two bars in town. This is where the Dumbledore's army, rather, has their first meeting. You can explore this back area here. I've already kind of taken all of their treasure, I guess you could say. Some peanuts at the bar, which is in fact illegal in my state. Weird. It's one of those weird laws. You can't serve peanuts or pretzels together with beer at a bar. Fun fact of the day. More of these houses, a lot of which we don't have access to. This is just kind of the people's hangout spot. Let's see if there's any more shops to discover on either side. Most of this is going to be houses. Lower High Street. I think we've explored everything. Let's just double check. Anything left? I think that's all of it. So if I did miss anything, I will come back and recycle some elements of this video. But when we go back up Hogshead Alley towards the kind of left side of town, I am off on my directions. It is actually the western side of town. Good. That makes a lot of sense. Across the river here, there is a bit of an obnoxious stream that goes through the town. And across the way, this is going to be a house here, but as you go up further, this is going to be the Magic Neep. So this is just a plant shop. You can get access to plant seeds and that sort of thing. There are 2 plant shops around Hogsmeade. We will explore the other one here next. This is the more tame of the 2, I guess you could say. It's going to be like Dittany and Fluxweed, Knotgrass, Mallowsweet, and Shrivelfig. So this is going to be more of the flower type stuff rather than the combat plants. The other place is going to host those combat plants, so we'll go there next. We're next to the river's edge, so this is the outskirts of Hogsmeade. This is still part of the area where you can't fly, which kind of sucks. This is the Hogsmeade Graveyard. I haven't really explored it in depth. You do go in here a couple times during missions, and you see ghosts interacting with presumably their former selves, with their bodies or loved ones' bodies. This is access to the Tomb of the Villager, like I mentioned, one of those quests. But we will circle through the graveyard and go in this direction up the hill. Now, I don't know if the Shrieking Shack hasn't been built canonically yet, or if it doesn't exist in the game, or I would really have to research the reasons behind that. This is the Old Fool, which is, looks like just a house. I've been in here and stolen treasure before, but if it used to be a bar, it's not a bar anymore. So here is a view of Hogsmeade from the top. There, of course, is the castle in the distance there. So this should kind of be where the Shrieking Shack exists in film canon. But like I said, I either haven't found it yet or it doesn't exist in the game. And we will continue on over toward this little area here. Now this is the plant shop where you find all sorts of bad stuff. This is dogweed and deathcap. So when I talk about more tame plants at the other place, this is going to be where you find things like Chinese chomping cabbage and mandrakes and venomous tentacula. This is going to be your combat plants and that sort of thing. So 2 different plant shops. This is the more extreme of the 2. And then we'll do one more kind of circle around town here. I still can't fly, like I said. Hogsmeade has kind of this no-fly rule. These bushes are filled with lacewing flies. We can collect them. And what I want to do is get across the stream in order to... Where do I go to get across the stream? We kind of got to wander a ways because there is a bridge, and there it is. So you have to wander a ways to get across the stream here, and of course I fall into it. Awesome. Good work. Didn't mean to do that. My bad. So let's continue the length of this video and work my way through the stream. Sorry about that. And my character is super slow. But as soon as I get out of this water, I should have access to... There's a pumpkin patch here. There's a whole bunch of... And you'll see this with most of the towns. On the outside of the towns, there's going to be a lot of just kind of farm patches. If we circle around, now we should have access over here to... Now you got to watch your step. You can see on the bottom half of my map, there are some enemies in that direction. I don't know if they're people. I don't know if they're animals, but we're going to avoid them. Of course, the scarecrows do move because they're magical. But what I want to do is check out this. The last thing I want to do on this video is check out this water wheel type mill building. And this is just kind of the water mill, a little bit of a forge area. No one you can interact with. It's not really a shop, but it is kind of a cool addition. Adds a little more character to the village. And there, last but not least, is one last view. There is a little fishing lake next to Hogsmeade. And then, of course, you see the castle in the distance there. That is Hogsmeade. We will explore Hogsmeade train station next. It is completely disconnected from the village, which is film and book accurate. And then we will later on check out some more of the villages surrounding the Hogsmeade, or rather the Hogwarts Valley area. That's all I have for now. In the bottom right hand of your screen is going to be a link to other Harry Potter videos. Go check those out if you're interested. But in the meantime, we will see you very, very soon.